So Daniel, thanks for coming on. Let's just get right into this issue. What kind of danger is Europe in if Russia cuts off its supply of gas completely?
Well, if Russia cuts its supply of gas completely, Europe is in really, really big trouble. Because think about this. There is absolutely no source of energy that can offset the volume of gas that comes from Russia. Europe imports about 150 BCM of natural gas from Russia. It can reduce the dependence on Russian gas by importing US LNG or some gas from Norway and other sources, but still there is no other alternative. Even if they reopen some of the coal plants, and some of the nuclear plants, it is not enough. And the combination of renewables, wind and solar, is definitely not a solution because, as you know, they're intermittent and volatile, and obviously they work with a load that is around 22 to 40%. Therefore, they cannot offset the volumes coming from Russia.
Now, Russia knows how much Europe depends on it. So how likely will Russia actually do this?
I think it's not that easy. On the one hand, it is true that the European Union has a tremendous dependence on Russian gas. But on the other hand, we have to ask ourselves the question, what can Russia do with that gas? Because it's not easy to sell it elsewhere. It's not easy to send it anywhere else. And the transportation system, as well as the storage system of Russia, are quite full already. So for Russia, it's also a double-edged sword. It cannot simply just turn off the taps, and it would be a massive loss of dollar and euro revenues that are much needed in this environment.
Now, Daniel, what effect would the gas shortage have on European industries?
Well, European industries are certainly suffering. If you think about the number of industries that would have to shut down entirely its activities if Russia decided to stop sending gas to Europe, that would certainly cause a massive recession in the European Union. There are numerous sectors that would collapse immediately.
Between the economy, the people, industries, who would feel the pain the most?
Certainly the people. Prices are already very high. Many households are being unable to accommodate the spending required, for example, for air conditioning in the middle of a heat wave. So imagine what it would be when it gets cold in winter and the price of natural gas, essential for heating, rockets to a new all-time high. People would certainly feel the impact more severely.
How did the European Union get into this situation?
Well, it's a very complicated situation because the so-called dependence on Russian gas was not something that was a mistake or something that was lack of planning. It was actually planned. It was perceived that having more interaction and commercial ties with Russia would improve the relationships with the Russian regime. Everybody would understand that it's even a good decision to think that by strengthening commercial ties with an autocratic regime, that regime will slowly but surely improve in terms of governance and in terms of democratic approach and openness and trade capabilities. But obviously, it's not always the way that one plans, and time obviously puts everything in a different perspective.
Well, it didn't work on China when they tried to let China into the World Trade Organization. But anyways, Daniel Lacalle, Chief Economist at Tressis, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.